Damn, you see what I mean, guys? This is what I mean about the PlayStation world. There's so much news in here. But this is not necessarily bad according to some people, which I agree with them. Definitely with all the anti-consumer behavior and gating and deleting content that Bungie has done, hell, in the past decade. The promises they promised with Destiny 1, Destiny 2, ever since they've left Microsoft, they haven't gotten better. They've gotten worse, and they went with Activision, and they lost more people. Key people left, and they went independent, and they went with PlayStation, and then now we see. Uh, I think Bungie is dead. Yeah, guys. But yeah, let's get into this. Not funny, but you guys know I just did the Dreamcast impersonation. Um, I saw this coming, and I've been telling people like with the other video, what the hell is going on? And then I hear some things about what they're doing with Destiny now today. They had bad news coming up, and then this came out. That leader has been lost for a while. I've always thought that about him. We have that to get into. We got the article to read, and then we have a response on a video that's pretty good as well, talking about Bungie and just ever since Sony paid 3.6 billion or whatever for them, we feel like this is different. That is a acquisition that it feels almost damn near wasted. Microsoft got a way better deal with Bethesda until Sony somehow turns them around and turns them into a PlayStation type studio where the PlayStation takes over Bungie because that's what's going to happen. And they're going to put them on that narrative rush and maybe some other live service aspect because Sony's pushing that anyways, right? So expect to see that. But yeah, CEO Pete Parsons is leaving after 23 years and passes torch to General Manager Justin Truman. Today marks the right time for a new beginning. Well needed. The future of Bungie will be in the hands of a new generation of leaders. As a huge Bungie fan who hates the direction they've gone, this can only be a good thing. Bungie closing PlayStation is dead. That's funny. But there's no Bungie anymore. It's dissolved by Sony. That's probably the last CEO. Sony will take over after that. People are getting smart and realizing that, right? We go over here to the same thing on Resetto where they feel the same way. Good. Good riddance. Good riddance. Here's to hoping that Sony's own management is quite as bad. Well, they got some management to do right now for sure. Long time coming. Hopefully this can be a start of a new era for Bungie. Guess his Sony shares payout matured. Good. There's nobody, FRP, there's nobody that likes this guy. The direction that he's took Bungie. It's pissed off a lot of people, and we see that here. And then we have the message here by him right here, or from people here. Before we get to this, though, let's take a look at this response over here because it gets interesting.
Guys, you won't believe this. Quite possibly, literally won't believe it. This is on X. Bungie just posted, "We're proud to announce that Justin Truman will be stepping up as Bungie's new studio head as Pete Parsons retires from his position to pass the torch to a new generation of leaders." And we've simply got an article here. Pete Parsons says to the Bungie community, after more than 2 decades of helping build this incredible studio, establishing the Bungie Foundation, and growing inspiring communities around our work, I've decided to pass the torch. This journey has been the honor of a lifetime. I'm deeply proud of the worlds we've built together and the millions of players who call them home. And most of all, I'm privileged by the opportunity to work alongside the incredible minds at Bungie.
You know what's so funny about the first paragraph that he writes right there? It's him thinking that everything was incredible. They established the same foundation as the Halo days, growing inspiration communities. Now I'm passing the torch. This journey has been the honor of a lifetime. I'm deeply proud of the worlds we've built together and the millions of players who called them home. And yeah, that's all he did, right? And then he's passing the torch. Shut the up, if you get what I mean. You know what I'm saying? Man, get out of here, dude. I mean, guys, I can't, right? And I told you, I've been gaming since 1993. I've been with, there was there day one with Xbox, you know what I mean? I knew Bungie Halo. You mean to tell me that's all you have to write, no apology to people, no admitting things? Yeah, that's a bunch of PR nonsense. Unbelievable. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people that love the Bungie that we knew back in the 360 era and the original Xbox era, even Destiny 1 Bungie, right? Because Destiny 1 was actually good. Is not accepting this paragraph right here. You can F off.
I was asked to lead the studio in 2015. My goal was to grow us into a studio capable of creating
and capable all the stuff they brought into the Bungie world. Yeah.
Sustaining iconic generation-spanning entertainment. We've been through so much together, launched a bold new chapter for Destiny, built an enviable independent live ops organization capable of creating and publishing its own games, and joined the incredible family at Sony Interactive Entertainment. But the future of
They say that about being independent, but it didn't last long. Then you went to Sony and it didn't get better. Well, it seems like you don't know what you're doing.
Bungie will be in the hands of a new generation of leaders, and I'm thrilled to announce that Justin Truman will be stepping into leadership as Bungie's new studio head. And he says he's worked alongside Justin for many years as a leader in engineering, production and design, and most recently as the general manager for Destiny 2 and chief development officer. He lives and breathes this studio, and I have full confidence that he's the right person to lead Bungie forward. Thank you for being the best, most passionate community in gaming. It's been a privilege to serve you. I'll be second star to the right and straight on till morning. I don't get that reference. Is it a reference? Anyway, that's the message from Pete Parsons. So obviously it's a significant bit of news. A lot of people, especially after the past few years.
That'll work. I got y'all, I know.
The layoffs of Bungie and the significant issues that they seem to have had as a company.
Perfect example of him, by the way. Does all that shit he did and then goes and blows $2 million on classic cars and just parks them and motorbikes. Yeah, he's that type of douchebag.
Yeah, a lot of people will be happy to hear this, and the general consensus, I think, really is that Bungie's upper management have made very bad decisions time and time again, especially in the time that Pete Parsons has been actually running the studio. So yeah, that's that, I guess. Enjoy your retirement, you absolute plonker. Justin Truman, though, for folks who are familiar with Destiny, or more specifically leadership at Bungie, straight away there will be comments about the over-delivery thing.
That's a unique British saying right there for sure. I haven't heard something like that in a while. That was actually hilarious, or something European oriented, like that type of term. That was too funny. I'm sorry.
I'm pretty sure it was Justin Truman that said that. But he says, in the 15 years I've been a developer at Bungie, I've worn a lot of different hats. As an engineer, I wrote some code that I'm really proud of for our original weapon abilities and networking in Destiny 1. And I've helped craft many of our systems, including some of the endgame systems I got terribly wrong at Destiny 2 launch. Talk about not giving a fuck, that reference, man. But as a producer,
that's exactly what I was just saying on his first paragraph that he read before that. And I'm glad he said that. You see what I mean? Of course he's not going to bring that up, though.
I helped our team build and roll out Destiny's first seasons, and most recently I've helped with the overall talent strategy as Chief Development Officer and helping Marathon team as we build our next world. When we're at our best, we create those worlds alongside you, our player community, and build something that matters. Something that's worth your time, passion, and investment in us. Something that I've learned, hopefully, over-delivers. Oh my god, he referenced the... It's not even a meme at this point. But he finishes by saying, I'm committed to supporting and working alongside every member of our team here as we...
Yeah, if only Bungie was doing everything right. And we saw the Destiny 3 reveal recently, or at some Game Awards, and it looked so epic, and then everything's going well. Then okay, yeah, but no.
Continue pouring our hearts and souls into these worlds, because ultimately those worlds only exist and thrive with you in them. We're hard at work right now doing that, both with Marathon and Destiny. We're heads down, but we'll have more to show you in both of these worlds later this year. And there we go, practically, in terms of what this really means, whether we're going to see any real noticeable changes at Bungie, well, we're just going to have to find out. But yeah, there's certainly going to be a lot of conversation about it. I'm already looking at Reddit comments about Justin Truman. I do think some of the references he made were pretty cringy in that statement overall, but yeah, I mean, there's not a lot more to really say. Give me your thoughts down below. There'll be a lot of good riddance with regards to Pete Parsons, who I'm sure is certainly partially responsible for a lot of what's happened to Bungie, and of course, the direct impact of that on a lot of people who actually worked at the studio as well, right? As fans, it sucks to see a company that you have loved for so long and games that you've loved for so long actually suffer, but of course, that's had an impact on people's livelihoods who'd also been part of Bungie for a very long time as well, so I'm not going to say anything that I shouldn't really say, but animosity towards leadership at Bungie is largely pretty justified. Give me your thoughts down below and I'll keep you posted if we get any further developments.
Yeah, I agree with what he said pretty much. And Bungie's getting what they deserve. It's kind of like karma. And it's not that I want this to happen to them, man. We remember Bungie, how big they were for gaming back then, how big they did a lot of good things with Microsoft, and seeing them in this state, just like a lot of things I was talking about, right? All these problems. Ubisoft, same thing. Yeah, it just sucks. But at least they have Sony to take over, but they need to get organized too. So we're going to see what happens. Let me know what you guys think about this. I don't really care much about Destiny 2 because I've been done with it, and I feel like all this time they spent on it should have been on Destiny 3. The marathon should have been like after that. But no. All right, y'all. Peace out.